Hola.
We made it. Week 11. How you guys doing?
Hanging in
We
there.
made it.
I feel terrible. My team's terrible. Let me down. That's all. I know I'm happy to be here. Happy to see you guys. Let's go. Hello out there to the league who's listening. We never say hello to the league personally. So hi guys. I appreciate you guys listening. This has been fun. I appreciate Phil and Mike especially for being here. So let's go.
Let's go.
I like how Dom noticed that it was rivalry week. Didn't he make a comment about that? But we've had rivalry week up here for like weeks. Yeah.
It's been like 3 weeks in a row or something. Yeah.
Good
Since
awareness,
division
Dom.
play started.
All right. Moving forward. Let's go. Biggest blowout. Hey, Brigadiers makes an appearance.
Hey, I'm just glad it wasn't me. I got close.
Did it. Yeah, shoot.
Yeah.
Well, you were against the machine of Drew.
Yeah.
So
Fuck that
big
guy.
week for
Fuck that guy.
Brian. Brian not only gets the biggest blowout of the week, but he's now officially the hottest team in the league.
Yep.
That 8-game win streak is now
Facts.
the top in the league.
Yep.
Brian beat Ryan. There it is. That's all.
There
Okay.
it is.
Sorry, Mike. Another notable, probably the most notable loss of the week. Probably. It was a high-profile loss. Balls first moves to 9-1. You've had a great run, man. David Tyree reached up and put it against his head on you, and we don't have a tattoo anymore.
David Tyree. It wasn't quite as dramatic as David Tyree, but that's pretty good.
Yeah, your team kind of just crapped the bed this past week.
If you're gonna go, you might as well lose big and not like save it to Monday night or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Any chance we could still get some sort of tattoo bet out of you?
No.
No, it's done.
No.
The dream is dead.
Yep.
All right, let's move on from this crap. Screw this. Mike. You have a championship to win.
That's right.
All the noise, all that other stuff. You guys are free now. Let's do this.
We're on to dirt balls.
On to dirt balls. So just some NFL stuff. We've got some good and some bad on this screen. Holy crap. DeAndre Hopkins. What a catch.
That was bananas. I'm in the
A week
minority.
too late.
I'm
A
in
week
the
too late, though.
I'm in the minority here where I think the throw is more impressive than the catch. Great catch, don't get me wrong. But if the throw's not in like this window, he can't high point it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And get just enough of separation. And to be rolling left along the sideline, running away from pressure and flip it up there, it was an unbelievable throw.
Can I get like a -3 on Tre'Davious White's jump rating and his zone rating in Madden? Because I mean, it went right over his head.
Did you see on Twitter DeAndre said best meme, and he put the picture of him catching it. He said best meme wins a signed jersey. Well, the first one I looked at, I was like, it's over, because it had the picture, and then they also put Bill O'Brien in the corner, and it said how to embarrass 4 Bills.
Nah. That's awesome.
I said get this man a jersey.
There it is. All right. Nick Chubb makes Dom have a Chubb. He's back. How about him stepping out though at the 1 yard line?
Beautiful. So he was on Pat McAfee on Tuesday.
Nice.
On Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, he was on as well. And he said he actually forgot that he wasn't supposed to score, and then at the 10-yard line, he suddenly remembered. And that's why. And he said he went out of bounds because he's too much of a chub to fall down and not momentum go into the end zone.
Right. That's incredible. Can you imagine like breaking loose on like a 50-yard touchdown run in the NFL and then like actually having a thought in your brain? I just like if one like tiny good thing happens to me in my life, my adrenaline goes crazy and I can't focus on anything. Like if I find a piece of candy in my pocket, like no way am I going to remember to not score a touchdown. Like what? That's awesome. Yeah. What else we want to talk about here?
I mean, is Breeze going to be out? Is that what it's sounding like? Is Jameis going to be the starter?
He's got a punctured lung. He's got to be out.
Yeah, he's out.
Okay. I didn't hear that. That's cool.
And multiple rib fractures too.
That's cool.
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, Drew. Drew Brees, that is.
How does that affect Michael Thomas? That's the thing here.
Well, Drew owns Michael Thomas in another league I'm in with him, and he said the good thing about that for Michael Thomas is, Jameis will throw it to him whether he's open or not.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, they should probably be showing Jalen Ramsey like all over DK in this picture, right? That's DK, isn't it?
Yeah. See, the things I talked about, mine and Drew's matchup. Like I said, I need Diggs and Allen to score touchdowns. They did. DK Metcalf got shut down by Jalen Ramsey, and he did, and I still lost by a ton. So it sucked.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Don't trade all your best players to one team. Let's talk about that sometime. All right. Good stuff here. Kicking award. So there was a curse going on, and it kind of got flipped. It's not here anymore. So Jason Sanders, well done on breaking the curse. I inaugurated Matt Prater into the BDD club just because he made some darn big kicks in the game, and I was having a big head, and I thought I was going to win because of it, but I didn't win. So I might not give him donkey dick status at this time. I might revoke it, but he still had a real nice game. Phill, this is a funny thing. So, Phill, you played against Ben, and I noticed that you just dropped your kicker, who also had a crap game. But, so, I mean, that just shows – I don't know. What do you think about that?
I dropped that kicker only because I have coup, and I had to play that guy last week because Atlanta was on bye. That's the only reason that guy was even on my team.
Gotcha.
So that was the plan the whole time, was a 1 week.
That's what happened to me with Gaskowski. I'm glad I'm not the only one with a negative up there now.
For sure.
Prater's kick, by the way, that was from 59, right?
Yeah.
It was like it had plenty. Like it didn't die after the goalpost. It was going like straight. Oh my god. Like
you got to remember, he's got the record for the longest field goal.
I know he might have hit it from 70. Honestly, that's crazy.
So I see Prater on both sides. He had a parking in week 2. There's some good stuff if you want to examine both of these lists here. All right, but they're kickers, so who cares? Okay, here's my conversation starter for you guys. All right, you guys ready?
Uh-huh.
A humanoid race of aliens has invaded Earth, and they challenge us to a game of football. If we win, they're going to leave us alone. But if we lose, they're going to destroy our planet. Who are you guys going to start at running back for Team Human? And it has to be like current players, current situations apply. Like injured players won't help us.
I mean, I know who I want, but Phill, do you want to answer first?
Well, I'm glad that it doesn't have to be one of us because we'd be screwed. So I'm happy with that.
I mean, I think we would pick an NFL player, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay. What do you guys think?
That's tough. I might go with Alvin Kamara right now.
I would start Derrick Henry. And it's not close.
I thought about Derrick Henry.
What if we fall behind by 2 possessions, or what if it's 3rd and long? Are you still going to have Henry on the field?
That's right.
Am I still going to have Henry on the field? Who says he can't catch? He just doesn't have to. He's
never proven it.
All right, here.
I'm playing Dalvin Cook. I'm going to take Dalvin Cook right now. Is anyone hotter?
Do you think they practice tackling?
Dude, they have the technology to come to our planet, and they have a football team, so I think they can tackle. Here's the thing: I'm gonna go against. So I just said Dalvin Cook. You got to think this race of aliens is better defense than the Bears, and the Bears kind of had a handle on Cook. So I don't even know what's the call here. Kamara?
Yeah, thank you.
Well, yeah, if they're like a legit football team and they have a sick defense, then yeah, you go with the matchup problem.
All right, so I hope
it's like the Monstars.
Yeah, kind of, basically, right? Yeah, it's like Space Jam. It's Space Jam style. Who were you going to play? Okay.
Michael Jordan.
Standings update. I just kind of, obviously you think about yourselves, or maybe I'm the only one who thinks about myself, and I believe it's the third highest score in the league, and I'm done. Put a fork in me. Mike's with the 2-game lead. He's looking ahead to the playoffs. Brigadier's the hottest team in the league. And Seth and Dom are going to fight it out. So what do you guys think? What are thoughts on
right down the middle of 500, baby? Right down the middle.
There it
is. If Dom got a little lucky this week, I mean, we've talked about his fantasy gods, but I mean, I believe he won with the lowest score of a winning team this week. And it could be the difference. I see that Seth has the lead, even though he's a point, so he must have tiebreaker, right?
Yep,
right now.
Knocked off Dom.
So it'll probably come down to their next matchup. I mean, most likely.
Well, they still got to play each other twice.
But John, you can't sell, so you'll still be playing spoiler. So.
Oh yeah, I'm going to try and beat both of them, and I have a chance to beat both of them. So.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Interesting division there. Yep. Is Ryan dead in the water here? Two games behind. What do you think?
I mean, he's in the same position as you. He can't. It's too late to turn back now. But yeah, that one hurt. He's gonna have to get some. He definitely has to have help now. And both Phill and Ben have sold, but they still put a decent lineup out there. So there's a chance, but it ain't looking good.
For sure.
He's just, I'll break down some of it later. He's not sitting pretty, but he's still got a good chance. I mean, he's one back in the wild card. He's still got another game against Brigadier, so if he can get me or Brian to get a win against Brigadier, he's back in it. So he's not dead in the water yet.
So you're saying there's a chance. All right, here we go. Let's look at some matchups. We'll start on the bottom with the biggest one in the infantry division. Dom's going up against Seth. Mike, take it away. What are your first thoughts on this one?
Well, I mean, Dom has Jameis Winston plugged in his lineup right now. That's a big roll of the dice. So we'll have to see how that goes. But Josh Allen's on a bye, so I guess it kind of worked out for him if he's gonna take that type of chance, because I don't know who else it would have been. So that could be like a blessing in disguise for him. And if he does force the ball to Thomas, and why wouldn't you? Against Atlanta's poorest defense, I think they're giving up the most points to quarterbacks. So yeah, you never know if that gets into a shootout. He's got Ridley on the other side, so that's the biggest game for him. Of course, we know what Seth is relying on. He's Rodgers and Adams. Adams is questionable, but I think he'll be okay. But they got a tough matchup with Indy. I really believe Indy is the best defense in the league. I think they can take away whatever you do best, and obviously the Packers do Devontae Adams the best, and I think they'll find a way to take that away. You got Nick Chubb back, looking good. Edward Solaire off a bye. He's one of those rookies that isn't used to playing, weeks after week after week and getting hit by NFL players. So I think a rest will do him some good. So even though the projections have Seth up by quite a bit right now, I think I like the position that Dom's in. Without, I think Dom takes it this week. What do you think, Phill?
So I kind of got a little breakdown of the playoff scenarios, and both these teams have still a pretty good chance. Obviously, they're both 6-4, tied for the division lead. But that division tiebreaker that Seth holds is huge right now. So he's got a much clearer path to the playoffs. And if he wins this game, I mean, he's got a really clear path to the playoffs with the tiebreaker, and then he'd be a game up. And then even if he faltered, he'd still have a outside prayer at a wild card. He theoretically could still win the division if he only wins one game the rest of the season because of the tiebreaker. Well, Dom, he has to get at least 2 wins and help, but his best scenario would be to, of course, win out. So he has to get Dom. So he's got to get that extra loss from individual 1 to be able to move on. So it's a huge matchup for Dom. I actually do favor Dom. Obviously, I think this is the top matchup of the week. It's definitely got the most implications for the playoffs. Obviously, they're both tied to their division lead right now. I just don't like individual 1's chances because he relies so heavily on Rodgers and Adams, and they're facing that Indy defense. So I got a little frowny face next to the Rodgers-Adams stack when the last several weeks I've had a nice smiley face next to it. He does have a strong D. He's got David and TJ Watt, so that could be his saving grace. Of course, Rodgers can always pull one out and maybe ends up having a good game against a tough defense. What I really like about Dom is he's all in on that New Orleans-Atlanta matchup. He's got Winston, he's got Thomas, he's got Ridley. So I think that's a good matchup to have players on. I think it was a smart move for him to pick up Winston for that bye-week replacement. Chubb is back, as John said earlier, that Dom's probably got a Chubb, that Chubb's back. So I think he should have another game. He is a little short-handed on defense. No Abraham, he's got COVID. Blake Martinez is on a bye. Myles Garrett's questionable. So I think Dom still has the advantage, but defense is the spot where Seth could maybe pull off the upset.
Guys, I don't know if you're
bigger for Dom too.
I don't know if I think you guys are looking too closely here. This game is Rodgers against Jameis Winston. Seth's gonna win. Seth's gonna win by 50. I see Winston struggling. Therefore I see Thomas struggling. Calvin Ridley's hurt. Hawkinson has a foot. Ezekiel Elliott is more like I don't know.
He has 2 feet.
Yeah, I hope so. I think this is all Seth. I mean Seth, he's showing signs of life too. He even took Adrian Peterson out of his lineup, replaced him with Rex Burkhead, which is a good one because Houston cannot stop the run. I'm Seth here, so I'm Team Seth on this one. We'll see what happens. Should be good.
I bet you an Orange Crush.
Let's do it. There's an Orange Crush in my fridge. I'm probably going to drink it before Sunday, but we can figure something out after that.
Okay.
All right, we got an Orange Crush. Let's go, Seth. Phil, you want to get in on this bet? Double or nothing?
I don't think I want to mail an Orange Crush.
Hey, Amazon works. Amazon gets to Rockford. Just saying.
Don did it.
I did it once. I lost.
He mailed me a 12-pack of Orange Crush.
To Michael Nostradamus McQueen.
Yes, he did.
Hey, Phil, let's move on to the next one. Tell us about Cadillac Crew and White Thunder.
So the Cadillac Crew had obviously a huge win, so they got momentum, if that is a thing in fantasy football.
Yes, dude.
They're actually in a really good spot now, even though they're a couple games back in the division. They still are in a good spot because they are in the driver's seat for the wild card, and they have a really good pathway. There's actually scenarios where they win just one game and they can get help and still get that wild card. So I like what the Cadillac Crew is working with right now. The Thunder is one of only 2 teams technically mathematically eliminated from our playoffs. So I looked at the matchup earlier when I was doing my homework. This is the only thing I'm going to say about the Thunder. They have a 7% chance of victory, according to Yahoo. So that's all I'm going to be able to say about them. Crew, he's got Mahomes. He's got DK. I think you want shares of tomorrow's game. If you have shares of tomorrow's game, it should be good for you in fantasy. So if you got Seattle guys, you're very happy about that. If you got Arizona guys, you're really happy about that. The only thing that I think could be a hiccup for them is if that Kansas City-Oakland game becomes a low-scoring game. Because he's got Mahomes, Hill, and Jacobs. If that becomes the low-scoring game that Oakland has forced some teams into this year, that could be a problem. Kenyon Drake looks like he might be finally bouncing back. He got a 100-yard game last week, didn't find the end zone, but I think he's got a good chance to find the end zone this week. He's got those shares in that Arizona-Seattle game. There's no way I'm picking against Drew this week.
Did you just call the Raiders Oakland?
Oh, that's terrible if I did that.
What?
I think he did. I still call the Chargers San Diego.
Oh,
yeah, Drew's a juggernaut. I think, yeah, I don't see that being a low-scoring game. I mean, Raiders beat them last time, but it was like, 40-32? I mean, there's going to be points scored. It just, to be honest, like, this is my question. If we were doing the power rankings poll still, would you put Drew at number 1 right now? Because I probably would.
Yeah, I would.
It's not about record at this point. It's about just even in a down week where some of his players didn't play, he had Mahomes, and nobody scored 500. He was still the closest. It's crazy. It's like I have this unbelievable record, and I'm probably not going to win. It's like I need some help.
Yeah, you never know.
I know.
You just got to get into the tournament, and I mean, Drew. I think Drew has some holes. Like, I mean, you're going to tell me Drew's going to be able to count on Kenyon Drake for the next month of football. DeAndre Swift, he's on the rise right now, but I don't know that he's going to be. Who again? It's another rookie. Is he going to stay hot for another month? Can he stay healthy? You talked about Edwards-Helaire in the last one. He's hitting a rookie. He's going to hit his rookie wall too. So, I mean, DK Metcalf, it's been proven that he can be shut down. So maybe there's a blueprint on him for now. I know, like, not everybody has a Jalen Ramsey. Would be nice, but
Seattle's reeling a little
bit. Right. So, I mean, Drew has like ultra talented players, but I don't know if there's ever like a super mega unbeatable team here.
I mean, McCaffrey's ruled out already. That's got to be a concerning sign.
Robbie Anderson doesn't have Teddy Bridgewater. How long is that injury gonna last?
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, his lineup is pretty darn healthy. So.
Josh Jacobs is sharing touches now. I don't know. He has an awesome team, and we're kind of nitpicking. But
so I disagree with that. Jacobs actually isn't sharing touches. The stats tell you that, but if you watch the Raiders game, Booker got all his play when the game was already over. So the stats make it look like Booker had this monster game, but it was all in garbage time.
Yeah, they were killing it.
I'm looking forward to the Vegas KC game. That was a fun game. The game in Kansas City, and now we get it on Sunday night. So that's what I'm like low key really excited for. Derek Carr's been playing really
mad at
well.
COVID because I would really like to be able to go to that game.
Yeah.
Fuck COVID.
Sure. And just kind of to go back to Kyle's team, I like some of the stuff that he has going on. Without Galladay, Marvin Jones had a really big game last week. I love Joe Burrow to T. Higgins. New England's not stopping the run very well right now, but I don't think Johnson's healthy. And Henry Ruggs is a big play waiting to happen. So, I mean, could be worse. So, anyway, let's head over to, let's see, who's first word? Well, should we give Phill the first word on his matchup here, Phill against Brian?
Yeah. All right, so believe it or not, at 500, I'm not dead in the water. I need to basically win out. There is a couple scenarios I can make the playoffs with three more wins, but I would need a ton of help. Basically, I pretty much need to win out and have Brigadiers take a couple losses, which thankfully I play them one more time so I can hand them one. Actually, I play them two more times, I think. At any rate, I play them this time and one more time. So, yeah. I actually could theoretically make a run. I don't see it, but just to say it is a chance. The Brigadiers are sitting pretty. They're 8-2 and have a nice lead in the division. They actually could win the division with just 2 more wins. 3 more wins, it's over. They don't even need help if they have 3 more wins. And same for the wild card. If it did fall out, if Withers got hot, if Withers wins out, he still would be the favorite for the wild card. He would actually have a 1-game lead over the wild card right now. So I think he's almost a lock to make the playoffs right now, unless he really falters. So going into the matchup, I did favor Brigadier. I think he's going to keep rolling on to win number 9. Herbert has been amazing. He's got a plus-plus matchup. And then, he's got a share of that Seattle-Arizona game. He's got Lockett. On my side, though, I've got a share of it, too. I got D-Hop coming off that the Hail Murray. So hopefully D-Hop will at least cancel out Lockett, maybe even more. But my biggest problem is Chris Carson. Looks like Chris Carson's not going to play this week. I was optimistic that he'd be ready to go tomorrow. I got to probably play Melvin Gordon in that spot now. It's a huge downgrade. That's probably the difference in the game. Jones might be back, though. He had a huge game, 196 yards and 2 touchdowns. So if that's the real RJ2, I'm not saying I'm dead in the water if that's the case. And it turned out that Kwiatkowski for the Raiders ended up being a really nice replacement for Martinez. So if that continues on, I'm not 100% dead in the water. One concern I do have is the Brigadiers has Mark Andrews. So if Lamar Jackson's throwing touchdowns in the red zone, they're probably going to go to Mark Andrews, and that's actually more points for his team than my team. So I think it'll be close, but yeah, if I had Chris Carson, I might have favored myself, but I can't without Chris Carson.
You got anything, Mike, on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think for just at the beginning of the year, who would have thought that Herbert is the advantage over Lamar? You know what I mean? Like, seriously. Lamar's been decent lately, and, for fantasy purposes, I like that he's, got double-digit rushing attempts in the last 3 weeks and stuff like that. He's better when he's using his legs, but just what a scenario, what an unreal turn of events.
What a world.
Fuller, I like Fuller a lot, but New England can be kind of a tough matchup too for Brigadiers. Lockett's banged up, but they're downplaying it, saying that he's going to be fine. Hunt is now in a timeshare, but he's still a really good player. Gibson, he's got every week he's got a few choices to make, but I think his lineup's pretty good the way it is. Yeah, it hurts Carson for you. Pete Carroll's trying to say it's a game time decision, but nobody's buying it. Sounds like he's going to be out again, and having to play Melvin Gordon, that would hurt. He hasn't even cracked 20 points in 4 weeks. Malcolm Brown was the vulture last week, but there's no way he's going to score 2 touchdowns again this week. You wouldn't consider that a play, but I mean, you have a chance for sure. It's not. I don't think it's going to be a blowout or anything, but you definitely need some things to fall your way, and but yeah, Brigadiers probably keeps it rolling here. 9 in a row.
9 in a row. It's more likely than not. I think you've got Chase Claypool in a nice matchup, Hopkins in a nice matchup. The thing is Ronald Jones against the Rams. I think Aaron Donald eats his lunch. And Miami's playing really good ball against tight ends too. I think so. Leaning towards Brigadiers also in this one. Hey, we've got 10 minutes here, so you ready to move on to the next guy?
Yeah, let's do one more.
All right, Mike, talk to us about Detroit Blizzard and Withers winners.
Well, Withers is coming off a tough week. He really needs some a win this week, and I think he'll get it. But looking at Derek Carr versus the Chiefs, that was his best game of the year last time they played. But in the last 3 weeks, Derek Carr hasn't even cracked 200 yards passing. that's unheard of in in today's NFL, right? I mean, for somebody we would consider a decent player. Jacksonville's defense isn't as good as they played against Green Bay, so Deontay Johnson might have some plays against there, but with the Steelers, they got a lot of mouths to feed. But he's got a few guys out there that could score. And for Ryan, Damian Harris is looking like a really nice pickup. He looked really good. He was getting to the edge and flying around. He hasn't been scoring much, but he has cracked 100 yards in two of the last 3 games. Baltimore's one of the better run defenses, and he still put up 121 on them in the rain when they're going to run. So that's looking like another nice player for him. He hasn't got much from Aaron Jones lately, like as far as getting in the end zone. So he could really use some touchdowns that way. But yeah, Russell Wilson could be in for a big night. He's turning the ball over a lot lately, but that doesn't hurt fantasy stats. So, heck, throw 4 picks, but throw 5 touchdowns. Who cares? You know what I mean? Ryan will take that for sure. But yeah, closer than the experts think, but Withers will probably take this one.
Phil.
All right. So, you guys want to hear something crazy? The Blizzard is actually not eliminated from the playoffs right now. You want to hear the crazy scenario that has to play out?
Yes.
So they have to, of course, win every game. The Brigadiers would have to lose every game. And then the Blizzard would have to make up 641 points. And the Withers would have to lose twice at least. And my team would have to lose at least once. But he actually could still win the division. Very improbable. He's probably going to be eliminated this week, either with a loss on his end or a win on Brian's end. I think both are probably going to happen. The Withers, actually, if they win out, they have a strong chance. If they win out, it just takes 2 Brigadier losses for them to win the division. Or if that doesn't come to fruition, 4 wins and 2 Cadillac Crew losses gives him the wild card. So he's actually still in a pretty enviable position despite the loss last week. So on to the matchup part of things. The only thing I got for Blizzard is Jefferson has a potential blow-up spot against the Dallas defense. But what I don't like is his running backs are projected for a combined 32 points. So hard to win if your 2 starting running backs only get you 32 points. Withers has Russell Wilson. We've talked about it. You want shares of that matchup. That's probably the best single player to have in that matchup. Well, him or Kyler. It's 1A and 1B in that matchup. He's got both Julio and Aaron Jones in tough matchups, though. Aaron Jones against Indy and Julio against New Orleans. If New Orleans defense looks the way they have the last couple weeks, that could be a real tough play. And he doesn't have Fournette in his lineup. I think that might be something he'd want to consider. But I don't think it's going to make a difference. I think he should be able to dominate this game and keep himself in a pretty good chance for a playoff spot.
I really like Tyler Boyd on his team. It was just a shame that he was on bye last week. What did I forget? What did you get for Tyler Boyd? I can't remember. What pick?
I got a 7th, I think it was.
7th. Nice.
He offered me that after the Allen Robinson trade went through.
Yep.
And then his smarmy little note was, "I'm not going to give you more than what they got for Allen Robinson." And I was like, well, you know what? It's better than getting nothing because Tyler Boyd's not going to do anything for my team. So I might as well get something for him. So a 7th round pick. And the only thing I negotiated was the pick I gave back was the lowest possible.
There you go. All right. No, I really like Tyler Boyd this year and in this spot for the rest of the season. So well done for you for getting something for him and well done for Ryan for getting a good player.
I just wish he would have been my wide receiver 3 instead of 2. It could have been a different season otherwise.
There you go. Hey, let's cut this one off, and then you guys come back for part 2 for Dirt Balls, Balls First, Steel Reserves, and Mustache, and a little bit of trivia. All right?
That's a teaser.
That's what we call a teaser in the business.
Call the biz.
All right. I'm going to end our recording, and we'll see you in part 2.